Today we're at IPC Mouldings in Carrickfergus to hear all about what they've been doing on their sustainability journey.
I'm Graeme Bennett. I'm the General Manager of IPC Mouldings in Carrickfergus.
And what IPC Mouldings do?
IPC Mouldings is a SC21 Gold award-winning manufacturing company, and we manufacture injection moulded plastic components and assemblies for the aerospace industry.
And you've been on a sustainability journey here at IPC over the last few years. Can you tell us a bit more about that?
Yes, indeed. We became part of the Collaborative Growth Network with the Manufacturing Task Force. In 2022, we were always aware of sustainability and the net zero challenges ahead of us, but it was a great opportunity to participate and learn an awful lot about it before we embarked on that journey.
My name's Simon. I'm a quality manager at IPC Mouldings. The majority of our work, about 95% of our work, is all for the aerospace industry, highly cosmetic injection moulded parts.
And that role, ESG carbon reduction, what all does that entail?
Well, it's a big learning curve to start with. When I started looking into it, I was really oblivious to anything to do with it. But now we're moving sort of along the lines of looking at all our carbon footprint and trying to see what ways we can reduce carbon footprint by looking at electricity data and fuel data for gas heating, etc. We've also implemented the ISO 14001 standard, which is now sort of helping us drive towards sort of landfill reduction and more of looking at the environmental aspect that we'd have as a company.
And some successes here, you've some new equipment on site?
Yes, since a year and a half ago, we've now got 2 new moulding machines, which replaced old equipment which wasn't that efficient. So there's been a good reduction, not only just in electricity, but with output. So we're reducing scrap levels and sort of downtime, etc. We've also purchased a new bit of equipment for the cooling the mould tools down. The unit we did have was quite inefficient, and now that we've got the new unit installed, from the start of 2025, we noticed a roughly about a 50% reduction in the electricity used in that one area where it was installed in.
And bringing your staff along on the journey with you, how has that been?
Challenging from the start. A lot of it was to do with just people's mindset to do with recycling and sort of trying to reduce carbon emissions, etc. But we have now noticed a big shift in the change.
We thought really looking at our Scope 1 and our Scope 2, really where we could make the inroads was really focusing on the equipment that we have here. So we've made some investment into new machinery that has helped us reduce our carbon footprint quite significantly.
So what challenges have you faced along the journey?
One is the customer-driven challenge. A lot of aerospace industry is all heavily regulated, and due to that we have to buy our materials from certain suppliers in certain locations around the world. And sometimes material comes from one side of the world to us to go back to its original location, so that is a challenge. It is something that I know the aerospace industry is looking at, so hopefully that will improve.
Any internal challenges along the way?
Yeah, there's a couple. One that sort of jumps out to me is really IT and reporting tools that can be used. Whenever a lot of companies would sort of start looking at this, they just use a basic spreadsheet, but we're now trying to drive more Power BI reports to give us data that's driven from our MRP system, so we don't even have to do anything with it. It's all automatic and it just pops up.
Scope 3 has been a real challenge. Scope 1 and Scope 2, you can do the measures, you can do the reductions, but Scope 3, you have to rely on your supply chain providing the full information, and that's been very difficult. And even when you get that information to turn it into meaningful things for you, it's a big challenge.
If you were to give other companies that are on this journey advice, what would that be?
The advice I would start off with is learn about it, figure out what you want to do, and then if you can, get outside help. And there's plenty of outside help going, of the likes of the Clean Tech Group, local councils, Invest NI, they're all willing to help. So reach out, get as much information and help as you can get.
We're a small company, we're under 40 employees, and I'd recommend to anybody, join a network, get involved in collaboration and networking, because really, we couldn't have done this on our own without that interaction.
Thanks to the team here at IPC. As you've seen, even in an industry that's so heavily regulated, simple changes can make all the difference.